The Brad rules!
How's it going, guys? Well, of course, we gotta talk about the Switch 2 and the alarmingly high sales and success rate of Nintendo's newest console. So, I mean, I've done videos on how disappointed I am about people's reactions to the Switch 2, giving Nintendo free PR, talking about tariffs. Nintendo has yet to even give an official reason for the Switch 2 being $450. But, you know, Nintendo fanboys are more than happy to oblige with an excuse of their own. Nintendo, nothing. All they had to do is tell people, oh, you don't like Switch 2 prices and $80 games? Go play your Switch 1. Oh, yeah, you know. And the funny thing is, now with the Switch 2 out, you know, the pre-orders, we already knew this thing was going to sell well. Because if there's one thing that Nintendo fanboys don't have other than a Switch 2, which they are sure to have at this point in time, because in 24 hours, we had 3 million units being sold. Very impressive. Gotta give Nintendo their props. Anti-consumerism and all. But there's one thing that Nintendo fanboys, you know, they don't have. You know, as opposed to them having a Switch 2, and that's a spine. A spine. You know, I'm even really disappointed. You know, I don't really get on here and call people out, but even people like Muda from Some Ordinary Gamers coming on here talking about buying a Steam Deck, all the great alternatives, you know, how you could get more for your money and not feel like you're being fleeced by a giant corporation like Nintendo. And what happens? He goes out and buys the Switch 2 day one. Bravo! Now nobody can take you seriously anymore, bro. I mean, honestly, does anybody on the fucking internet, on YouTube, have a spine anymore? I mean, what? And plus, what are they buying? What are you buying for your money, may I ask? You are buying a Switch 2 that only has one new game at launch, that being Super Mario Kart World, which a lot of people seem like they're propping up to be more than what it is. And many people are more honest with themselves and with people like on X and stuff saying like, the open world isn't really what it's cracked up to be. You know, it's not really a big leap forward. It's not really what you would expect and what Nintendo really made this out to be. And there's no real surprise there. Other stuff is like, you're going to get a port of Cyberpunk, you know, that's out there. And people out there actually paying more for Breath of the Wild. People actually going out there and paying $70. $70 fucking dollars for Breath of the Wild, which was $60 at launch. And you don't even get all the DLC with the Switch 2 version for this enhanced version. And this is just hilarious to me. You know, or you could pay $10 digitally to have it upgrade. Oh, wow. Really? So let me get this straight. So you could take something like, let's take, for example, Sonic Unleashed, right? Now, if you put your old copy of Sonic Unleashed into your Xbox Series X, you know what you'll actually get? You'll actually get an enhanced version of that game that runs at 60 frames per second. And you didn't have to pay a dime for that. And that game was like over a decade old. And they still showed support for that game. But because this is Breath of the Wild and this is the Switch 2, excuse me, the Switch 2. Now we get to charge even more. But people posting these photos, going over the top, you know, buying like huge, you know, buying 2 Switch 2s, mind you, buying multiple Pro controllers, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like people are rubbing it in people's faces. And the thing is, when you call these people out and say like, what are you doing here? Nintendo has fleeced you. There's only one new game at launch. And and all these half-assed ports that they're putting on the Switch 2, and you're willingly giving them your money. And when people are calling you out on it, you're acting all offended. Yes, there's people out there that are going a little bit too far. They're using slurs and stuff, which I don't support. Of course not. But if you're simply asking the person why on X or on YouTube, why you went out and spent all this money, you know, don't be surprised if these people who bought the Switch 2, I face this on X, saying, oh, you're poor, you're poor. Okay, like, that is just ridiculous. So it's like, if somebody buys an expensive car and you say that's a waste of money because it's, you know, bad on gas and it's hard to get parts for it and it's just not a practical thing to do, you know, what are you gonna scream at people? Oh, you're broke, you're broke. I mean, it's not that someone's broke just because they don't want to buy something. If you don't want to buy something, you feel it's not worth it, that makes you broke. I can easily go out and fucking buy it. I mean, I bought a 2060 Super for my PC, upgraded to a 3700X for my CPU on my computer to upgrade it. Bought more RAM because I did this on purpose because I wanted to make my PC my main gaming machine, my go-to machine. So the thing is, I could have easily saved all that money and bought a Switch 2, but you know what? I figured I'm doing videos on my PC. You know, I like to do emulation. So why not bring all those things together? You know, like, so it just didn't make any sense. And I got the Switch one. I've got a huge amount of games that I've reviewed on here, having physical copies. But the thing is, at some time, you just have to say, it's just not worth it. And you know, the buck has to stop somewhere. It's like, are we going to just endlessly keep buying consoles that it doesn't even make any sense anymore? Like when the better version of a game is on the PC. Now I get that there's Nintendo exclusives, but let's face it, you know, is it just Nintendo exclusives? There's a lot of other great games out there, and I have a massive backlog. And there's also old games too that I've never played before. You know, that's the crazy thing about it. You know, being 37 years old, I still haven't played, you know, everything out there for Super Nintendo or the PS2. So, you know, I've got a backlog a mile long. So I kind of looked at things and kind of assessed things from an economic standpoint and said, you know what? Upgrading my PC is a better move than waiting for the next console. It's just pointless. So yeah, go ahead and call people broke if you want. Enjoy your new console. Enjoy the Switch 2. Nobody is saying that you can't enjoy your brand new console. Go ahead and enjoy it. No one's saying that you can't. If my opinion is ruining your day so much that you can't enjoy your new console, then maybe you're having a bit of a guilty conscience. Maybe you deep down know that you wasted your money if it's getting to you that much. But that might, by no means, is my goal. It's not to make you feel bad. People are entitled to spend their money how they want. But the thing is, when you're money making, you know, when the way I want to say it is, the way you're spending your money is actually affecting other gamers, because you're haphazardly spending your money. Oh, Nintendo, I'll buy two. Meanwhile, you are actually making Nintendo feel good about themselves. Oh, they'll pay anything for the Switch 2. And guess what? You know, Sonic's Racing Crossroads, $90 for the digital deluxe. See how they're getting the balls there? Grand Theft Auto 6, of course it's going to be $100. See what you did by showing a game company that it's okay to fleece you with one game at launch and an expensive ass console with a ridiculous price point. You just open the floodgates to insanity when it comes to pricing for video games. You see what you did there? And all because you wanted to show everybody, oh, it's not that expensive. Like, what did you buy? You bought one game and a bunch of ports that you could have bought those games on, first of all, the Switch 1. You're just buying upscaled versions of them, basically. And what's the other thing? You have Cyberpunk. which it's not even the best version of the game. You could buy that on your PC. Now, again, not everybody wants to upgrade their PC and turning it into a gaming rig, but I just think it's ridiculous that this is the argument that we're making. First of all, this console shouldn't have even been released in this state until they had better games ready to go. Why did they even release this? It was very weird how they just all of a sudden said, oh, Switch 2, after all these rumors and everybody, talking about the Switch 2, when's Nintendo going to announce it? And they announce it and it finally comes out, and it comes out way sooner than everybody expected, and it's a launch that's disappointing. But many people still bought it, so it's not really disappointing to them. This has got to be the most confusing launch, the most confusing record. It's going to probably break a record. I just don't get why everybody felt they needed to have this day one. But let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know. Why did you feel it was worth it to buy this day one? And if you didn't buy it like me, let me know why you didn't buy it. Let's discuss it down below. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell to get all the notifications when I post on my new videos. I want to thank all my subscribers for continued support. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.